Well, after 3 weeks out of the country, I am finally back in the UK. And as you can imagine, there is plenty to do around the house, in particular in the garden. The kind of mid to back end of spring, everything just goes absolutely wild. And so there's quite a lot of maintenance to do, and also a few little jobs that were kind of always pending anyway. So we're gonna get out in the garden today, but just before I get stuck into that, there are two things. Firstly, just a little bit of a recap. I won't linger on it for too long. Lids and I obviously visited Provence. I say obviously, for any of you that haven't seen Lydia's vlog, that is out now. So if you want to go and see what we got up to, then you can head over to her channel, also over on my Instagram. We had a fantastic time. It was kind of like a semi-holiday, to be honest with you. And we got to do lots of things, including like wine tasting, boat tours, antique shopping. It was fantastic. So that was first. We then headed to Budapest, which was lovely, second time visiting. I actually can't remember the last time we visited, but the weather wasn't the best. It was okay. But nevertheless, we had a nice time there. And then my most recent trip that I've just got home from was a golfing holiday to Portugal with my family. It was unbelievable. The golf was questionable, but it was so nice to spend time with my brothers and my dad, as always. So that's what's been going on. And before I head out into the garden, I have a few new gadgets that I've implemented into the house. And two of them I want to talk to you about right now before we get stuck into the outdoor stuff, because the sun is shining and I need to get out there. For my ongoing partnership with Xiaomi, I'm going to be introducing a product that is about to change Lydia's life, literally. Some of you will be familiar with our cat, Lumi, the Bengal, Her Majesty, and she has a funny habit during certain periods of the year of waking Lydia up at around about 4 a.m. for a nighttime feed. Now, I have just got my hands on the Xiaomi Smart Pet Food Feeder 2, and this bit of kit, this device, is going to be an auto feeder, which is going to mean that Lydia shouldn't get disturbed for a nighttime feed anymore. And sleep is super important, so she's going to be over the moon with that. I'm not sure whether Lumi ever tries to wake me up and I just don't hear her, but Lydia seems to be the person of choice, or the parent of choice, to do the feed. So the Xiaomi feeder has the ability to connect to an app, which means that you can schedule multiple feeds and to the weight that you desire. It is a dry food feeder. Lumi has both wet and dry food. So this is going to serve two functions for us here, because Lumi is very particular when it comes to fresh food. And so the unit has a triple sealed lid on it, which means that the food's going to stay super fresh. It's also not going to like over dispense too much food, so it's going to be sitting there and then Lumi's not going to eat it. And dry food is really good for her teeth. Well, she has a wet food diet. She also does and has dry food that sits down in a bowl. This has already shown that she's consuming more dry food, because whilst I've been getting used to it and trying out the product, she's been going into the utility and just helping herself to the food, which has been scheduled for 3 a.m. which is amazing. And it also tells you how many grams have been eaten because of the scales that the food falls into where the bowl is. That's one benefit from having the feeder. Fresh food, you can actually track how much your cat's eating, or your dog, and also it's going to ensure that Lydia doesn't get woken up for a little midnight snack, which is amazing. The second product that I've introduced is the Xiaomi Smart Pet Fountain 2. Now, this is a 3 litre water fountain, which has a sensor on the front, and when the pets walk over to it, the system starts to pump water through into the bowl on top. This has a filter inbuilt into it, which means that the water stays fresh and it's also circulating, which is amazing. Both the dogs and Lumi will all use this water fountain. They do have their own water bowls, however, they tend to use the same one anyway, and so This has a battery inside the unit, so you charge it with USB-C and then you can actually put the water fountain anywhere you wish. So that will live in the kitchen where the dogs can access it, as well as Lumi. So they are the two products that I have recently introduced to the house for the pets. They're being absolutely spoiled. Now, as always, I'll leave both the products in the description box down below for you to check out. I am going to get myself in the garden. I think the first job that I'm going to tackle today is probably leaf blowing the patio and then looking at putting some vine wires up for the climbing roses. Another half-finished job.
Half
Yeah.
a job. I'm in the middle of a job, my love. You pulled me into the living room, into the office to watch something.
You were doing this about an hour and a half ago.
Would you like to see what I've been doing?
No, it's okay.
No, I didn't think so.
Right. I'm out in the garden.
So, what I need you to do...
Beautiful day.
Are we taking this out?
Yeah. So I think... I know it's like buttercup, isn't it?
It is, it's so
but
pretty.
No, I just don't like yellow in the beds.
Oh, I mean, it's still very pretty. I might harvest some and use them in some...
Harvest them. We don't have to harvest everything. So it's essentially a weed in our bed.
All flowers.
It wasn't designed to be in there. Look at these little succulents that need to be taken off as well.
Yeah.
Ching, ching, ching. What do they call them again? They're not called sucklings, are they?
No,
they're called,
saplings.
Is that what they're called?
No, saplings are little trees in the woods.
What are they?
These are just...
There's a name for them.
I don't know.
Gosh, what are they called? Someone help me in the comments.
Anyway.
That's one of the jobs as well. I need to remove this little plant because it's not supposed to be in here. And look how invasive it is. It's everywhere. It's gone everywhere.
Underplant these Origeron.
Ah, yes.
My roses.
Okay, so plant those up. We've got the vine wires already going across all the way down this side and up. But this side, we don't. Correct?
We don't. And I also need you to plant the cup and saucer plants.
Okay.
Which I think should go in the beds.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
There's not much space there. You could also clear this pot for me, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that looks miserable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at all these cushions, look how dirty they are.
Well, you can get those clean if you want. I'm going to do a bit of a pick of all my roses.
Are you going to try and keep them short?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. So as they bloom, so like, it's a way of, these need to be sprayed.
Ah. Why don't the chickens eat them? The little bugs on your plants. You alright, ladies? Loving the coverage that the wildflower gives them. Particularly Henny Penny at the back. Little scaredy cat. The roses this year are looking pretty spectacular. Lydia's just noticed some little aphids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When these get a bit bigger, I'll chop these right down because this is what you want. That's actually what a rose would look like in the store with that thick stem.
Yes.
So.
I mean, it's getting nice and chunky, isn't it?
This one's doing really well. These are our Desdemonas.
The U-balls have been replaced, still not working. So they're not happy in this location. This is what gardening's about, finding what works where. So that's going to be replaced. The one over there is going to be replaced. And the dogs have started decimating the lawn with their nuclear wheeze. And so we have a lawn specialist coming out to do his annual treatments and care. Hopefully get this looking a little bit nicer, because at the moment it looks a bit miserable. It does need a cut as well, probably a feed. And just like that, the first one is in, ready to give some support to that rose. Well, that is one little job complete. I think they're erigerons planted in the pot. The climbing rose, which probably isn't a climbing rose, ready to trail up its new supports that have just gone in. And I'm now going to repeat the process over here. And this is actually doing a lot better over here. The gardener had already put in a few wires for us, so just to pop these up here, give this a bit of a tidy up, and then the next job will be to plant the cup and saucer plant that Lydia actually propagated from last year's, I think. These grow really quickly, and this will climb up the side of the house where the roses are, and I'll just plant them in the actual beds. So I've got 2 of these, and I'll get busy with those as well. You had a hard day, buddy?
Ja, life being barky boo.
Lemony. What are they? Why do they smell lemony?
That's the type of rose that they are.
Very good. Ah. Okay, so 2 rose pots at the rear of the house have now had erigeron potted in them. They've been watered, and then we have some wires put in just to help support the climbing roses. Happy days. Now, before I put all of my tools away, the next job that I want to tackle is potentially putting in some sort of support for the cup and saucer plant. So I'm not trying to kind of clamber over this and put supports in whilst it's grown. I'm just going to sort of put something in for us to sort of like feed it behind, to give it a little bit of support, because it does get windy, and during those windy periods this does take a little bit of a battering. It's quite a light stem and it has quite dense leaves on it, so it really gets caught by the wind. It's really beautiful. It's a shame that it actually isn't an evergreen, because I think if it was, we would have this 100% climbing up the sides, or the rear should I say, of our facade anyway, because it's a really lovely plant. So I'm going to get this in the ground. Just before I do, put some more supports up. So as you can see, I've created a bit of a zigzag effect up the side of the wall here, and the idea is, if I zoom out a little bit, we're going to be planting in the bottom left corner, just down here, one of the cup and saucer plants that will grow up, and then Lydia will just have me train it randomly, and then I'll curve it around this wall and up. And we've also got a wire that runs from this corner to the point of the roof and then all the way back down again, following the fascia. So job well done. The chickens have come up to the terrace. They come up to the terrace at this time of day because they're looking for their seeds. They get corn seeds each evening. It was used to get them back into the coop, but they actually take themselves back into the coop. But at the beginning, they're just having a little drink from the leftover water when I watered the pots a second ago. And as you can see, I've got my one true love over there, the leaf blower, waiting to go. I'll put the chickens away first. Lumi's just sunbathing to finish off the day. Aren't you, my darling? I'm telling you, she's the lady of the manor. Your cushion's a bit wonky. It's hurting me. I'm just gonna very gently just straighten you out. Ready? Good girl. Oh yes. Still haven't straightened it out. Anyway, let's get this in the ground, and that's these jobs complete. I think because the time of the day, I'm going to leave the job of removing this weed. I might even pass it over to the gardener, because the last time I tried to remove the buttercups, or whatever they're called, last year, I actually ended up taking out a different plant, which I think looks similar but different, and I think it could possibly be, this is one plant and that's its leaf there, and then this is another, and it's like they have very similar leaves and it's very difficult to see. You lot fighting? I'll have none of that, please. Also need to get that in the bin. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Let's get busy. Right, let's feed those chickens. Well, I've just finished giving it a little tidy up on the terrace, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done in these beds, just tidying things up. The cherry blossoms have also really just dropped all of their flower, so at the moment they're looking a little bit scraggly. They could do with a little tidy up as well, and again just trimming up the stems just to tidy those up. However, as much as I'd love to do that, we are going to make our way, because I need to quickly grab my strimmer, which is there. I've been purposely waiting for this time of the day to take on this task. I need to give the beehives a little bit of a tidy up. I've been waiting for this time of the day on purpose to do this next job. I need to strim around the beehives, and the bees don't particularly like loud noises like lawnmowers and strimmers, and so picking a time when they're going to be mostly inside the hives is often the best option. So at this time of the day, the majority of the bees will be back inside, and so I can quickly get in there and give that area a nice tidy up. As I said, it's actually been a few weeks growth, and it's just completely taken over. The cow parsley here is quite prolific, which is lovely because I enjoy it, but it means that the beehives do get very quickly eaten up by nature. So anyway, I'm going to chuck my hat on and my safety goggles, because it can get a little bit flicky. I'm going to grab the strimmer and then we're going to make our way into Honeybee Walk and get strimming away, and then stick you guys somewhere safely and get strimming away. I love this time of night when the light just starts working its way through the woods and all of a sudden golden hour hits and all the cow parsley's glowing. Lydia's kitchen garden's looking amazing as well, considering she's not really had much time here either. It's doing well. We'll see how we go. As you can see, the wildflowers just started to flower, and in particular the areas where the sun hits, so that's really lovely. And you can see the solitary beehive as well is being used now finally, so that's been a nice little injection into the wildflower garden. Let's grab this puppy and make our way over. Look at that for organisation. Very impressed. As you can see, it's very overgrown here, so I think there's more bees out and about than I thought, so I'm just going to go and stick a jacket on quickly. So just to give you a quick idea of what's been done, you can see that I've cleared around the back of this hive, because you typically work from behind, and then I've cleared the walkway through. A lot of these bees started to come out. In fact, they're coming over to me now. So they weren't too impressed with the noise, but you can see I've just cleared that whole area, which means that I can now work around the hives without all of the cow parsley getting in my way. I'm glad I got that done. I needed to do that at this time of the day, because if I was to do this in the middle of the day, it'd be carnage. There'd be bees everywhere. So the majority of them will be working away inside the colony, and the ones that we can see out on the landing board are just the guard bees. So they're just doing their job, but I'm going to make my way back inside now, and then my next visit up here will be just to do a little bit of maintenance on these trees, so just to keep the canopies lifted. I'm going to continue just to remove any new growth that's happening too low, and you can see there's quite a lot to do over, particularly at the back where the light comes across the field. You get a lot more growth. So yeah, that is this evening's jobs complete, and as I said, there's a lot more to do. Favourite time of day? Is it that time of the day, is it, boys? When we settle down with all of your toys. Look how many toys you have.
But he doesn't know which one to go for, so he goes...
Ah, gone for a little one to chew. We are going to settle down for the evening.
I love my life.
Surrounded by animals.
Honestly, Porty's had a very busy day.
Yeah, he was a bit barky today, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he doesn't like it when you do things in the garden. And you've got to stop doing that, because we really want Daddy to do things in the garden.
He doesn't like noisy. He's like the bees. The bees don't like noisy things either. No, he just side-eyed us. Yes. Why are you side-eyeing us, Porter? Because you know we're talking about you.
Oh, I love you.
He's thinking about a little cheeky lick.
I love you.
You are playing with fire. It's amazing how little you get done in a day. But at least we managed to tick off a few jobs on the list, and I think that I'm going to continue to tackle the garden, because it would be really nice to have it so tidy that when I went out there, all I needed to do was enjoy it. Because that is one thing with gardens, they're a labour of love. Every time you're in the garden, there's always a job to do. But anyway, we are going to settle down, as I said, now on the sofa. Probably won't watch any TV. Chill for an hour or so and then get ready for bed, because tomorrow is the start of a new week. And we have Lydia's PT coming early in the morning. Going to get a nice early night to set the week up right tomorrow. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the week and weekend ahead, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.